Solid questions, guys, solid. So instead of just sitting in front of the camera, I am gonna do my ruck. I'm gonna answer some questions on the ruck. I'm gonna do a workout. And we're trying to be creative with it. I don't wanna just sit in front of the camera. Let's be creative, be engaging. I want you guys to stick around. Does it get discouraging when your body fat percentage goes up? How do you stay motivated? Craig Blackwell. Solid questions always from this guy. It definitely does get discouraging when you're gaining weight for a bulk, but you have to understand, you know, for me, I have to understand that I'm doing it for a purpose. So yes, you're going up in weight. Another question was, how much weight do I plan on gaining? Probably somewhere around 20 pounds. I don't want to lose my six pack or anything. I'm sure if I got like 30 or 40 pounds up, we'd be talking, you know, we're going to be losing the six pack. Probably 20 pounds up. How do I not get discouraged? Is because it's a process that I'm going through, and I understand, you know, I'm going to be getting stronger, gaining muscle, and it is going to suck to lose the sharpness, but you're doing it for a reason. And then you have to think of the end goal. You're going to gain lean muscle mass and you'll be that much bigger when you're fully shredded. So yes, it's definitely something that's on my mind. It's going to suck a little bit because I constantly catch myself getting discouraged about how I'm going to lose the sharpness, but I have to constantly remind myself, you're doing it for a reason. You are trying to put muscle mass on, and then when you're fully cut, because the discouragement can honestly make you lose motivation or discipline, because it's like, you know, I'm putting all this work in and I'm looking all soft. But you just have to remind yourself you're doing it for a reason. But yes, for sure, it's discouraging a little bit. It's all good. It's for the greater good. How do I know how much weight I should be lifting? It's definitely an experience thing. You got to go in there and feel the weights out. But I always tell my girlfriend, you're a lot stronger than what you think. You want to make sure it's high enough for it to be intense. And for the last 3 to 5 reps, you want to be struggling heavily. Shoot for around like 12 reps. So around 8 to 10 reps, you should be struggling heavily and you should barely get the last couple of reps. That's where you want to be. And that takes experience to figure out what that weight is for you. You got some rain coming in or what? This one says, current, all caps, fitness influencers or bodybuilders that have inspired you. From Leon. I mean, they're still current. They're just dudes from way back. They're OGs that have inspired me. Absolutely. Chris Beast Mode Jones, Mike Rashid. If you're meaning like current, like younger dudes, recently I've been watching this dude, Nathan French. Dude's a beast. I like watching him. I get a lot of motivation from that guy. Other dudes that are current, I don't know. There's fitness influencers who are just pure fitness, staying out the way. That's kind of what I do. And then there's like drama-based influencing, which I'm not saying there's no value in it. And I'm not saying they're not giving value fitness-wise. I'm saying they're getting into a lot of other stuff too. I'm not really interested in that. David Goggins, Cameron Haynes, those dudes. Anybody who's doing insane, like something that takes insane mental strength, I love that. They build a lifestyle around that type of thing. I love watching that. I love that vibe. And if I were to go full time with this, best believe it's gonna be eat, breathe, sleep, fitness. I love it. I absolutely love that. So, you know, watching people who get to do that for a living, it's really cool to watch. I love that. I've always wanted to do it. It's been a dream of mine forever. Eventually, we're gonna make it happen because I'm just gonna force it. I'm gonna keep posting until it works. Look at this, look at this. What about to attack me? We are just on the busiest possible road right now. Damn, I want a coffee. No. Starbucks is taunting me, man. They're putting in a brand new sushi spot, literally a block from my house. Let's go, dude. All you can eat sushi. Cheat days coming in hot. Sushi, baby.
Don't forget to use code Wolfe. It'll add 2 inches to your biceps.
on everything I love. That's the truth. Playing it smart. We're not pressing. My shoulder was giving me issues. We're not going to press. Unfortunately, I wanted to try it, but it's not that big of a deal. My shoulder is giving me issues, so I'm just going to stick to flies today. Probably, we're going to lower the weight, do high rep flies, some push-ups, throw some pull-ups in there. We got the ruck in. This isn't going to be a building day. This is going to be just getting it in. It's unfortunate, but you got a torn labrum. I had surgery, and every now and then my shoulder just gives me issues and just does not allow me to do what I want to do. Let's get to some more of these questions. Here they are. Some egregious questions in here, guys. You know, I said I'm going to pick my favorite, and some of you guys just disrespected me and just said some crazy, crazy stuff in there. I don't want to give those attention, though. Have you ever competed? Will you ever compete or step on stage? I have never competed before. Right now, currently, with my job, I have minimal time, so it's not something that I'd want to implement. I'm not saying it would be impossible to do it with a job. I'm just saying I'm not super interested in it right now, and I do have a lot going on, so I'm not really even going to put thought into it. If I didn't have my 9 to 5, I would definitely put some thought into that. There's different avenues that I would like to explore fitness-wise. That would be one of them. Another one of them would be just to put all my efforts on endurance training. I've thought of that. I'm not sure if that's something that I'll do in the future, but it's definitely not something that I'm against. Thank you for great content and vibes here. Can I get you a gift as a thank you? I got an Amazon wish list in the link in my bio, brother. If you want to hit that up, I would love that. I appreciate you for being here. Nikki Svanderdu Vord. Sorry, brother. Definitely didn't say that correctly. How do you manage meal prep time with other life tasks? In the last video, you saw me, I was cooking in the morning. You know, I've smoked meat. I've grilled at 6 a.m. You know, sometimes you got to do things that people don't do. I'm sure my neighbors are like, why does it smell like grilled chicken at 6 a.m.? You know, if I was the neighbor, I definitely wouldn't hate that. But you got to do weird stuff sometimes. Waking up 5 in the morning, grilling chicken. But being realistic about it, I have Sundays off. I have every Sunday off, and then throughout the week, my day off changes. So today is Tuesday. It's my day off. They've been bringing me in on my off days so I can make some extra money, which has been nice, but today they're not bringing me in. Next week, it'll be Wednesday. The week after that, it'll be Thursday. So you try to just set your schedule up to where on your off days, at least, you know, you're just prepping food. And I know it's something that kind of sucks, and it's something that you don't really want to be doing on your off time. But if you have goals, you have to take the pros and cons that come with this fitness lifestyle, because there are pros, which are you'll feel better, you get the physique that you want, you at least get to work towards the physique that you want, you have goals, you're goal oriented. Living this lifestyle, really cleaning up your way of living, is a huge thing for mental health. There's a ton of pros that come with it, but one of the cons is for sure like spending time on meal prepping. making sure you have time to get into the gym at least 4 days a week, I would say. But if you're really trying to be serious with it, 5 to 6 times a week, prioritizing your healthy diet, making sure you're not cheating or eating whatever you want all the time. I enjoy eating healthy. It makes me feel better. A lot of times I get the question of, do you drink alcohol? And I really don't. I used to drink a lot. I used to party a lot. But that was kind of like a growth period in my life where you're experiencing new things. You're in your 20s, your young 20s, and you're figuring out, I liked it for a while. It was fun, obviously. Everybody goes through that stage. But then it goes on for a while, and then maybe a little bit too long, and then you're trying to figure out, why am I feeling depressed throughout the week? Why am I anxious? You get tired of being hungover and dealing with a hangover for a whole day. And then, a lot of it for me was I was listening to podcasts religiously at work. A lot of dudes who are into fitness, and a lot of entrepreneurial podcasts was a big one for me. Like listening to Andy Frisella, and hearing him talk about his alcohol story. And, when you're dealing with a hangover, I think this is getting way off a topic, but anyways, I just want to talk about it. When you have a hangover, you have to realize there's people out here who never drink and who never have setbacks throughout the week. Drinking for me, and I can only speak for myself, it brought anxiety, it brought depression, days on end throughout the week. And there are studies on that saying, that it does cause anxiety and depression, and it does last more than one day. On Wednesday, I would have drank on Saturday. I still feel it on Wednesday. And the less and less you drink, the more you realize, okay, every time that I drink, now I can really tell this is only happening when I'm drinking. So those effects may be stronger for some than it is for others, but for me, those effects were very strong. I'm very sensitive to things. My body, anytime I take something in, I can feel an effect. So because I feel like, especially at this point, I'm very clean. So anything that comes in that hasn't been in my diet, if it makes me feel some sort of way, I can tell. And that's what alcohol does for you. And it's putting you behind. It's not a competition, but you have to understand there's people out here who never drink, who are never hungover, who are never staying in bed, longer than usual because of a hangover. People out here are lapping you. If you're constantly drinking, constantly partying, for me in my own personal situation, drinking fits nowhere in my life. There is no room for it. That was a food prep question, and I just went on a huge tangent, and I'm sorry. So my phone cut off because I lost storage. So yeah, probably talked for like 7 minutes and then went and looked and said storage full. So it's pretty cool. How quickly / realistically can a 6'4", 6'4", 20-year-old dancer put on 10 pounds? So if we put that into perspective on what I'm currently doing, I'm going on a bulk, and it's going to be a 6-month-ish bulk. And I'm looking probably to gain, I would love to be able to gain anywhere from 3 to 6 on the high end pounds of lean muscle. When I cut back down, I want to be like maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 pounds heavier, fully cut. I know 6 is probably pushing it, but you are 20, I'm 30. You should be able to gain easier than me because of age. So I would say if you really locked in and you went on a bulk and you wanted to cut back down, you really locked in 10 pounds, I would say you could probably do that in 2 years. If you really locked in, you went on a 6-month bulk, progressive overloaded the whole way through, ate exactly the way you're supposed to eat, to the T, no ifs, ands, or buts on anything, super disciplined. All your friends are going out, you're staying in. You're sticking to a diet plan. You're hitting your protein daily. You're adding in a cheat meal per week for sustainability. Everything's got to be locked in. And I would say 2 years, by the time you're 22, you could be 10 pounds heavier of lean muscle mass, fully cut. That's pushing it though. Might take 3, 4 for being realistic. And also, are you talking about like 10 pounds of overall weight? Because you could hop on some creatine and add some water weight real quick. I don't know anything about you. Like, are you on creatine already? Are you talking about 10 pounds of lean muscle mass? Are you talking about just 10 pounds of overall weight? Fat, doesn't matter to you? Are you just trying to put weight on? Just start pounding lasagna. I don't know. So it's all specific to the person. But if you're talking about 10 pounds of lean muscle, I'd say 2 to 3 years if you're really locked in. I want to gain weight. I want training from you. Please help me. Amen. 349126. Brother, I structure workouts weekly for people on my team. Every week the workout changes because I'm not working out the same exact every single week. Obviously, like the workouts within each workout are different, but I'm structuring it weekly. Every Sunday, I put a brand new workout, full week split in there for you, and it's exactly what I did the week prior. And I'm also coaching within that week. So each day, some of the sets in there, you'll see I'll have coaching. There's visual examples of me doing most of the workouts. Some of them are brand new and I still have to get some videos up, but that's the closest I can get to like one-on-one training with you. I was dabbling in trying to one-on-one train, but I definitely don't want to be putting half effort into something like that. So the best I can do for you is the team, and you can join that team. It's $15 a month and you get DM access to me 24/7 in there. I have notifications on, so if you message me within the app, I will see it and I will respond. You can ask me anything in there, and you'll see if you buy a program or if you get on my team. Either one of those, you have access to me through the messaging. I'll give you the Discord link, an updated version of the Discord link. You get macronutrient guidance in there. You get my cookbook in there, and then from there, I'll let you know, like, you can ask me any questions you want. Just shoot me a DM and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So the DMs on Instagram, sometimes, very rarely, I'll answer people in there, but I'm not in there very much. So if you want access to me, for sure, access to me through the DMs, that's your route to do it. And I'll give you enough advice for you to be able to hit your goals. I can't do anything for you. I'm not going to build you out a meal plan, but I'll give you advice. Any questions you have, I'll make sure to answer those for you. Can you be my big brother? Dude, of course I can be your big brother. I was listening back in the day. I used to watch a lot more Twitch streamers because I love video games, and I've ever since I was a kid. So I still watch streamers and I still watch video games. But like watching like Nick Merckx, I remember him talking about, like, if you're, someone who's lonely and like this is just like a good, I don't know if he's the one who exactly said this, by the way, but like if you're in a position where you're like a lonely person and this is all you have really for connection, and I've been there before. Like, I'm not calling anybody out for being lonely. Like, I've literally been there before where it's like, yeah, this really is all I have. So, we're in the future now, man. Like, this is connection. This is building a relationship. You feel like you have a relationship with me. Like, you really do. It's like, if you mess with my channel, like, I appreciate you guys being here. I'm looking at all the comments. I'm trying to, be respectful towards the comments and like the type of content that I'm creating, and we're growing together. So absolutely, brother. You can look at me like I'm a big brother. I'm going to give the best advice that I can. Like, if you're a younger gym bro, definitely get some good advice over here, bro. And again, you can join my team and literally have DM access to me. So you can message me all you want. In a calorie deficit, basic question, but how long do I stay in this? 2 weeks, 3 weeks? It's killing me, Smalls. The Rick Turk. My man, Rick. Been here since day one. If you're in a calorie deficit, and I mean, if you're like in a mini cut or something like that, 2 to 3 weeks in a mini cut, it just depends. It all depends, bro. It all depends. Like, if you are just looking to shed a few pounds, 2 to 3 weeks, go on a mini cut, you could see results in a few weeks, maybe a month, if you're on a mini cut. But if you are in a position where you need to shed like 10 pounds of fat or 15, like, it just depends. That's going to take longer. But for me personally, if I were to go into a mini cut, yeah, I would see pretty good results. Like, if I slacked off for a few weeks and then I'm like, all right, let's lock it back in 2 weeks straight, no cheat days, lock it back in 100%, I'm going to see a difference in my physique. I know I answered this before the phone crashed out on me, but I don't know if it's in there or not. So have you ever gone swimming after the gym? I have not. Cardio I like to do. Steps, you guys see I'm always doing my weighted vest rucks. I hit the bike. I also have an assault bike. It's right over there. I'll hit the bike. I was doing that for a while previously. I haven't been doing it as much lately. Stair steppers, I'll do the stair stepper. And I used to run a lot. Probably I'll get back into that. I go through phases. I'm always keeping an open mind. Whatever I'm feeling, I'll do that, and I'll start doing it for like months on end, and then I'll switch it up. I won't even notice that I switched it up, and I'll be like, damn, I haven't hit the bike in a while. And I've been doing steps for so long now, but I'm always open to trying new things. So I wouldn't be against doing that for sure. How much weight do you plan on gaining? 20 pounds, brother. 20 pounds of chub. No, 20 pounds overall, sit in that, and then cut back down and hopefully have an increase of some maybe 3, 4, 5 pounds of muscle mass would be goals. We got through a lot of these. Some of these are very egregious, again, and those will not be answered because I'm not allowed to say a lot of that stuff on YouTube. Guys, what are we talking about in here? What's your training plan? You can train exactly like me, brother. Go to the link in my bio and hit join the team. You can train exactly like I'm training. Having a hard time deciding if I need to increase reps or increase weight for muscle gain. It's a good question, bro. That's a good question. I would make sure that you are increasing the weight. Progressive overload. Over time, weekly, you want to beat what you did the week prior. It doesn't have to be week to week PRs, but last month you should be doing more weight than you were doing last month this month. At least by a little bit, and it's gradual increases over time. You definitely want to be increasing the weight for muscle gain. And the reps as well. For me personally right now, I'll do my progressive overload reps for the 2 middle sets. So I'll probably do 3 to 4 sets. So if I'm doing 4 sets, the first one is usually a high rep with a higher weight, high intensity, maybe 12 reps. And then I'm going to the 2 middle sets and I'm doing lower reps, higher weight with progressive overloading there, and trying to increase weekly that weight. Make sure it's a high weight, struggle, maybe get 6 to 8 to 10 reps there with a super heavy weight where I'm struggling for the last 3 to 5 reps and barely getting the last rep. And then the last set, I'm AMRAPing. I'm lowering the weight and I'm AMRAPing, getting time under tension on my muscles and just going to failure. That's how I do it personally. I don't know if I got this in there either, but what's your favorite workout attire? DFYNE. I'm pioneering the men's side on DFYNE. They are very big on the women's side, and rightfully so, because their stuff is super quality. I'm wearing, not right now, but I usually wear the socks, the crew socks. I'm all DFYNE, bro. They got compression shorts. They got these shorts are my favorite. The last drop before this drop, those were my favorite. Then they did this drop. Now these are my favorite. This is the Unbound drop. And every drop, I'm telling you, they get better. They're brand new on the men's side and they're huge on the women's side. So expect the men's side to be huge as well at some point. And if you ever want anything from them, use code Wolfe, you'll get a discount. So usually what you see I'm wearing DFYNE. How tall are you? I'm 6 foot. What does strength mean to you? I don't know if I got this in the last one. Mental strength over physical strength all day, but a huge way to gain mental strength is through physical strength. When you're trying to gain physical strength, you're hitting the gym every day. You need discipline. You need consistency. All things that build mental strength really come from trying to build physical strength. And I'm not saying you have to be physically strong to be mentally strong, but I'm saying a good way to do it is to get in the gym and try to become physically strong, and the mental strength will come with it. How long have you been cooking it up in the gym? 17 years, brother. I started when I was 13 years old, and I'm 30 now. And it wasn't consistent all the way through. Is it true that you have to choose one or the other between bulking and cutting to have a six-pack? Not for me, specifically. Genetically, not for, it's a lot to do with my genetics. When I was in high school and I was very, very scrawny my freshman and sophomore year, I was ripped. 6-pack. I could eat anything I wanted. My mom did keep it healthy. My parents always kept it healthy for me. But I was ripped. But I was very skinny. And I've never not had a 6-pack. Even when I was getting out of shape. It was 200 pounds. When everything happened in 2020, we couldn't go outside. You couldn't go to the gym. I definitely got really out of shape, you know, and I still had a six pack, but it was soft and I look nothing like I did now. I look way better now than I did then. Absolutely. It sucks because, you know, I'm going to be transparent with you. I don't have a lot of videos or photos from back then because genuinely I didn't know that I was going to be doing this. I wanted to do it. It was like kind of like a goal, but it wasn't on the front of my mind. I had some content from back then for sure that I deleted because I was insecure about it, because I was like, I'm never going to post this. I look like trash. And then now, what do you know? I would have loved to have those transformations, but it is what it is. Now we're going to go on the bulk, gain some fluff. And yeah, I had some good videos back then, man. I've made some huge progress from where I was in my early 20s. Even though I was hitting the gym and everything, it's like you grow up, and as you grow up, you grow with the game. Early 20s, I was drinking, partying, eating whatever I wanted, eating as much protein as I could. I was still hitting the gym religiously because I loved it. And over time, you get too old to where it's like that kind of lifestyle is going to change your body. It's not going to look very good. But when you're younger, you can handle it, and your body is just, you still look really good, even though you're not fully locked and you don't even know how to be fully locked yet. I had to lock that in, and now that I'm 30, I have everything locked in. I've got a lot of knowledge compared to what I had back then, and I've made a huge transformation, but a lot of that stuff got deleted because I was insecure about it, unfortunately. All right, that's going to be it, guys. Don't you dare touch my phone, Melly. She's about to attack my phone. Melly, don't do that. Don't do that. She's going to smack my phone. I appreciate the support. Guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. We'll see you in the next one. Say bye, Melly.